When it comes to boats and wave runners, unlike automobiles, there are no seat belts, especially in boats. And the types of injuries as a result of that can be pretty severe. People get thrown out of a boat and maybe strike the water at a high rate of speed, strike a dock, strike rocks, a jetty. With wave runners, they're much like motorcycles in that if there is an impact with a vehicle, oftentimes the operator of a wave runner will get thrown off the wave runner or get struck by a boat or another wave runner, which causes severe injury and oftentimes amputation, especially of the legs. When people are boating, they're typically having fun. You know, it's a fun time, unlike when people are driving cars. And so when you're having a fun time, sometimes safety seems to go away. People become less attentive. Oftentimes you're introducing alcohol into this scenario as well because, again, it's a good time, everybody's getting together. And when you mix alcohol with inattentiveness or with inexperience out on the water, it's a recipe for disaster. One of the problems that we see, especially with people who may be renting boats or watercraft or personal watercraft just for a weekend or for a week, they're not very experienced and they don't understand that there's a real difference between the handling characteristics of wave runners and boats versus, you know, cars and even motorcycles. They tend not to turn very sharp. They tend to go where the water takes them, especially when they're off throttle. In other words, you're not advancing the throttle, you're just coasting along at that point in time. You don't understand the stopping distance or the turning distance it takes, and people misjudge it all the time. And suddenly there's another boat, there's a swimmer, there's a skier, there's a dock, and then there's an impact, and it can be catastrophic. It's also important to know that in these types of cases involving boats, it depends on what body of water you're on as to what laws, what regulations will apply, and this can determine whether you're going to end up in federal court or state court with a claim you may have. And whether you're in federal court or state court can make all kinds of difference in your case and the outcome of your case. One other thing that is really important when it comes to boating accidents: insurance. Unlike cars, boats are not mandated in many states to have insurance. And so oftentimes you're dealing with people, especially with older boats and wave runners and jet skis, who don't even have insurance. And so now it's a search for, where are we going to find recovery? Do you own a boat yourself? Do you have uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage on your boat that can be used in the event that you are involved with an accident with somebody in another boat that doesn't have insurance coverage? So these are more complicated issues that are peculiar, unique to boating accidents that don't necessarily exist with car accidents. So I think it's very important that in selecting a lawyer to represent you or a family member who has been injured or killed in a boating accident, it's very important to make sure that they understand all of these peculiarities that apply to boating accidents, to the law that govern the waterways that these boats and personal watercraft are on.